What's up, chicken diddlers? Welcome back to another Counter-Strike tutorial. Yep, Counter-Strike tutorial. So today, we're going to be going over how to get real good at this video game. Alright, so let's hop into it. So the first thing you're going to need to get good at Counter-Strike, well, obviously, you sit down and you look at all the pros. What do they all have in common? One thing. The number one thing they all have in common. You gotta get yourself some skins! Okay, so you gotta have the best skins in the game. If you want to be the best in the game, you gotta have the best skins in the game. It's just as simple as that. Get yourself some good old skins. I'm just got a stat track Toxic Crusader over here on my MP9. No big deal. Just get yourself a couple of these bad boys. Pop a few in there. Pop a few skins on your weapons over here, and then and then you go and you shoot them, and yeah, that's the number one step. If you can't look good, you can't be good. That's the number one rule in life. Wow, I didn't think this was going to turn into a life tutorial. Oh, look at that. Alright, let's just go ahead and hop into a match here. Once you have that number one step out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into a match. So, you want to train to be the best, alright? Everyone knows that. I understand you. We've all been in your position. So, what's the most effective way to practice? Well, of course, you want to choose the map that all the pros play on. So we're going to go to Assault real quick so we can practice. Pretty basic stuff. Alright, so once you get in here, you're going to select a team of your choice, and then you're going to type in some binds real quick. Alright, once you've typed in all your epic gamer binds and you've, loaded into the match and you're over here, the number one thing you always got to keep in mind when you're practicing to become a Counter-Strike professional player, esports champion, first thing you always have to keep in mind is, your awareness of the map. So get accustomed with the map. If you're going to be playing on the professional matches, the big league esports, you're going to want to practice all the maps that, you can play on. So, of course, excuse me, the number one map you're going to be wanting to check out is Assault. It's, the most common one in rotation right now. Yeah, so you're going to want to practice this map a lot. It's pretty small. It's not really that big of a map. So it doesn't really take that long to get, used to it. As you can see, it's a pretty small map. There's not many, corners you have to learn and all that. But, yeah. So just walk around a little bit and just get yourself accustomed, try and think out, where the bomb sites are. Yeah, where the bomb sites are in this, in this map. So just, yeah, get accustomed to the corners and, oh, that's weird. Alright, I don't know why that guy was carrying a hostage. I thought this was a bomb defusal game mode map, but, oh well. So, once you think you've got yourself accustomed to, the map, the second most important thing to becoming a Counter-Strike professional, esports player, like myself, you gotta learn how to shoot the gun. You gotta shoot the gun real good. So you gotta, well, okay, sorry if I went a little bit too fast for you to understand what I just did to this poor car. I tend to go a little bit fast in these tutorials. I'm really sorry. I should slow down and explain things. So what I did there, I actually walked up to this car, and I pressed, you're going to have to find it. It's on your mouse. It's the left mouse button. And I held it down for a few seconds, and just like that, you too yourself can shoot like that. It's pretty crazy. So just you can walk up to anything you want, really. Just walk up. And if you gotta find it, it's sometimes hard to find on your mouse if you're not ready to press it, but it's just right there. And yeah, press it down a little bit, give it a little tickle, a little bit of a tickle, and should be shooting the dudes just like Shroud, just a little bit of a just tickle, just like that, That's how Shroud does it, If you want to play like Shroud, you gotta think like Shroud, just a little tickle. Okay. Let's go over here real quick and give this guy his own little tickle. So once you've tickled everybody up nice, it's going to restart the round. I know we were all noobs, so you know you didn't really know that was about to happen. But 3, 2, 1, and the round has restarted. You know, that's sort of how this game works. I know everyone here is a beginner, so I'm really trying to break it down into small steps, small bite-sized steps, so everyone can understand and get a firm understanding of the gameplay that we're exhibiting right here for this tutorial. So yeah, when you win a round, or lose a round really, it restarts the round for you, which is pretty convenient, otherwise everyone would be dead permanently. It's really, really thoughtful of Valve to do that, so the game can commence a second time, not just one round. It's pretty epic, really. So the number two thing is learning the maps, of course. That's why we're on assault, after all. You gotta learn the maps. The number 2 thing is the shooty shoots. So, you know, a lot of people mess up at this step. Everyone can learn the maps. I mean, we all know assault. Everyone knows this map, right? I mean, come on, it's a classic. It is a classic map, obviously. But everyone knows it, but this is where people can really falter sometimes, you know, in their Counter-Strike Professional Esports League career, 2-time championship career. They can falter a little bit on this, and that's shooting. That's the number 2 thing. That is shooting, and this is where a lot of people mess up. So what you want to do is when you see your enemy and you lock eyes with him, you want to just, well, you got to understand his space. You know, not everyone wants to be approached as much as they might seem like they do. You have to understand that some people just like for you to, you know, not be as aggressive, and you can just, you know, understand their space and respect their surroundings. But then, you know, once you've commenced in interlocked in combat, you're going to want to make sure that you have your right or left hand, if you're left-handed, on your mouse, because that is a pretty key thing when it comes to shooting. And you want to make sure you look at them. Anywhere will do, but preferably, you know, you want to be aiming for their toes. So they really reward a high skill player in this game. See, this guy, he's scared. He knows what I'm trying to do. They really reward high skill players for going for those toe shots. So you want to make sure you tickle them toes a little bit to get them high kills. You know. I mean, how many Shroud clips have we all watched where he just, man, he peeks the corner, he looks at the guy, interlocks eyes, interlocks combat, and then he just walks up, starts giving a little tickle on the toes, you know? It happens all the time. We see it time and time again in competitive play. So that's really the number 1 thing. You don't want to aim for the head. The head's not really that important. Just the toes, man. Give him a little bit of a tickle in, and, yeah. So that's the number 1 key to success. That's how Shroud does it. And I'm pretty sure Shroud's like the best player in the world right now, so yeah, that's definitely what you want to do. Alright, so the number 3 thing that a lot of people actually don't use, like, I know I said people can get the shooting a little messed up. I mean, yeah, not everyone can do it as good as Shroud or me, you know. I mean, what can I say, you know? But the number 3 step, the 3rd step to becoming a Counter-Strike Professional Esports League Championship player, is your utility. Now, a lot of people get not stuck at this, but they just never get around to this. They never learn this stuff. So utility is highly effective when you're trying to become a professional esports player, like myself. So, number 1 thing to keep in mind with utility is, number 1, do you have utility? Did you know you can buy grenades, flashbangs, smokes, and molotovs, or incendiary grenades if you are on CTE? Yes, you can buy those. If you didn't know that, now you know. See, I'm such a helpful person teaching you all this information. Yeah, those are pretty important, but you know, you have to remember to buy them. Once you buy them and you have become aware that you have them in your inventory, you must make a mental decision when and where and how you want to use these beautiful weapons of destruction. So I'm going to go over each one. Alright, so we're going to go over each one individually here. We got, first up, the Molotov. Not everyone knows how Molotov works, but you press your handy-dandy little mouse left-click button on the mouse, and your character does this little animation where he pulls out his little lighters, pew, 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 and he throws it down. It kind of hurts a little bit. That's sort of what fire does sometimes. But yeah, it covers a general area with fire, and that's a pretty useful tactic. One thing that it's really useful for is if you're peeking an angle and there's an enemy on the other side. You know, let's ignore this guy for now. But say you peek an angle, you see an enemy, jiggle peek like this. So the number one use of a Molotov in a situation like this would be, well, you have to think, what is your goal in this situation? Your goal is to get out there and tickle toes. So what's the most effective way to go about this? Well, you could throw the Molotov, but you don't like to burn their toes. You just like to tickle them. So what you do is you peek out into cover, and you throw the Molotov there, so it forces your brain to go and rush them. And then you just rush them and tickle his little feet. He must have went up here. Oh no, he went down that way. Yeah, that's the most effective way to go about this. Say there's an enemy right here, just whoo! And then you're like, whoa, fire! And then you run out and initiate in the toe tickling. And that's how the pros do it, you know. That's the, you know, a famous clip. We've all seen the Shroud clip where he's like, hey guys, I'm about to, whoa! Tickle this man's toes. And he runs out like that after he throws down a Molotov. The Molotov, it's all in the mental aspect of the game. You know, there's a lot of mental stuff that goes into Counter-Strike. You really want to make sure the Molotov is a scary threat to you. So anytime you're throwing down the Molotov, you want to make sure it's a threat to you, so you get scared of it. So you condition your brain to get more and more scared of it. And it makes it just a better effective strategy for peeking people. So I peek, I see my enemy was there, throw it, run from it, and then tickles toes. As simple as that, guys. Alright, up next is the smoke grenade. So we got a perfect example here. So this guy's guarding whatever. He's guarding this angle, and we know he's guarding the angle. Well, what do? We have to peek him to tickle his toes. Obviously, we done went through this. All we gotta do is pull out our handy dandy smoke grenade and throw it in the line of fire, and now mission solved. World peace solved. He can't see me, I can't see him, I can't tickle his toes, he can't tickle my toes, and we can go on and live a happy life with our families. We don't have to shoot each other. So that's the number one use for the smoke grenade. It's really effective. It ends a lot of games early though, so be mindful when you go to use it that it does end games early sometimes if the whole team agrees to go on the peace treaty that smokes generally bring. You have to be prepared for that and understand that you can end the game at any point with this powerful weapon of destruction. I mean, peace. It is a peaceful weapon. That is the whole point of it. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Like, and let's show another example. Here's my opponent, and I smoke myself off, and he can't see me, and I can't see him, and we all go home and we go eat dinner. And that's how you use smoke grenades. Alright, next up, halfway there. Hope you're having a great time with this CSGO tutorial. I hope it's really helping you out. I'm really just trying to get as many people up into that global elite and, you know, maybe even one day become an esports champion, 2-time back-to-back world championship player like myself. But, yeah, no, it takes a lot of practice. Anyways, onto the Flashbang. So, let's say you have interlocked and you know you have to kill the enemy. And you don't have a smoke, so you can't end the war early. You know, there's nothing you can do. You have to initiate in the toe tickling competition. Well, you got options. If you have a flashbang, it's pretty commonly used among lower level players who like to lose. The best strategy to go about using it is throw it opposite of the opponent, stare right at it, and then run out into his arms and allow him to tickle your toes. It's really a white flag kind of operation you do. You know, you see your opponent. Let's find an opponent. You see your opponent and you go, alright, it's GG time, boys. You look at the flashbang, run out, and allow him to tickle your toes like that. See, if the bot had a brain, he would have tickled my toes. So yeah, that's the most effective way to go about using a flashbang. It's pretty high skill, high reward sort of place. Not everyone can use it properly, but you know, hopefully you can practice that. Just practice every day, 2 or 3 hours a day. You know, practicing your flashbangs. Now you should get it down quite quick. All right, so the number one most effective strategy, most popular strategy for using the frag grenade is pretty sort of self-explanatory. It's pretty obvious. It's a grenade, obviously. You know, we just do normal grenade things. So when you see a cluster of enemies, Quite obviously, you want to start holding down your left mouse button. Remember, that is a button that is on your mouse. Generally, you hold a mouse with your right hand if you're right-handed, and you hold it with your left hand if you're left-handed. And the button we're clicking here and holding is the left one. Yeah, which is like, if you don't know which the left one is, which one that is, it's the opposite to the right. So you see a cluster of enemies, you start holding your left mouse button, and then obviously, what do you do with a grenade? Well, quite simply and quite obviously, you run over to the edge of the map and you throw it out of the map, because blowing your friends up in a Counter-Strike lobby is just not cool. I don't recommend it. I don't condone violence. So don't throw it at them. That's really mean, actually. You go to jail. You seriously will. Just don't do that. Whoa! See, that's what happens when you accidentally misclick and you throw the grenade. That's not what you want to do. How many clips have you seen of Stroud throwing a grenade like that at an enemy? Like, no one does this. No one does that. You have to be smart with your utility usage. When you see a cluster of enemies, think twice and do the right thing. How many times have we seen those epic, wholesome clips of Counter-Strike players when they know they can win the game with throwing a real well-placed nade and they throw it out of the map? Those are the best clips. That's what really is going to elevate your game in Counter-Strike. So, hope you learned a lot from that grenade tutorial. Alright guys, well I think that about wraps up this Counter-Strike professional esports player tutorial. I hope you learned a lot. Next time we might go over B-hopping. If you don't know what a B-hop is, it's sort of like when you hop. Sort of looks a little bit something like this. Might go over that next time. A lot of people struggle with it, but it's really not necessary to become a pro esport back-to-back world championship player like myself. So I didn't really go over it in this video. I mean, I'm sorry. This video is already packed full of information. I couldn't go over everything. Maybe save that for next time. Hope you guys learned a lot. I want to see a lot more players out there in the World Championship League. I know it's a hard thing to get into, but I really believe in you guys. Hopefully this tutorial helped you out a bunch. With that said, guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video, and maybe if you enjoyed it enough, I mean, up to you. Only if you enjoyed it, you can drop a like, drop a subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, WhatsApp, WeChat, Qzone, Tumblr, Instagram. You can hit me up over there if you want. Twitter, Google+, all these different places. Check me out at my Twitch channel. Check me out at my my MySpace account. All of these places you can get daily, hourly. Actually, that daily was what we used to do. Now we do hourly uploads and posts, social media posts on how to become a better Counter-Strike player. So if you guys want to learn more about how to become the best Counter-Strike player in the world, follow me at all those places. Give me a fat follow on all those social media accounts, and you'll just learn more. You'll be a better player, and it's just as simple as that. That's all you have to do. Just hit one follow button and become better at the game. I really hope you learned something important from this video. I hope it was very informative. I tried to make it the best I could. As always, chicken diddlers, remember to eat your chicken.